Namaste. Welcome to the mat. My name is Ashish, and I'm going to take you through a journey today of easing into yoga. I have a number of people ask me, we've never done yoga before, we're afraid to do yoga, we don't know what it is. And I've also got other folks that say, well, I'm doing yoga, but I'm not feeling it. It's not doing enough for me. And that's some of those folks are they've got intermediate skill sets. Then I've also got a few people that are quite flexible in advanced journeys, and they come in and say, well, I'm getting injured. I've heard this and I've heard that, and the goal of this practice today is to take each level, a beginner, an intermediary, or an advanced practitioner, into safely doing yoga and realizing the benefits for it for yoga too. So the intention of setting this practice is to welcome all levels, whether it be beginner, intermediary, or advanced levels, into yoga. Now, for beginners, it's perfect because it's a slow start, slow easing into the practice. For intermediaries, you'll get a sense of how breath is so much integrated into the asanas that we do. And it's a similar thing for the advanced level practitioners. Sometimes we move fast and we tend to push ourselves more. And this is that practice that'll say, let's slow down a little bit. Let's understand, as we're going through this slow practice, how our body is reacting to each and every asana that we do. As you breathe into every asana, you'll start to realize what's working for you, what's not working for you. So what's working for you, we obviously will keep that. But what's not working for us, we will take note of it and come up with adjustments. Now, for those at intermediaries and advanced level, you'll know how well advanced those are, what your practice is. And so it is my hope, and when I did this slow practice, I did get a sense of this practice will help guide all levels. We will be targeting the lower back, glutes, shoulders, arms, knees, the psoas, and the hamstrings, and of course the abs. The abs is where we have a lot of breath work, and so all of these areas will be targeted. So we've got my co-yoga instructor here. Her name is Raji, and she does come on the mat quite a bit. She will eventually move away. Just when we start talking about our spine, when we start talking about our function, we also have to take note of several chakras, right? So this practice that we do will be heavily shifting the root or Muladhara, the Sacral, Swadisthana, and the solar plexus, which is our Manipura chakras. There's a lot of work is going to be done around this area. Okay, we'll moderately shift the Anahata, which is the heart chakra, and the Vishudha, which is the throat chakra. And then we'll likely shift the third eye, which is the Anjana, and the crown, which is the Sahasrara. Now, as you go through these movement practices, a lot is going to be done over here. So obviously these chakras will move more. These chakras will also move, being the neighbors of those chakras. They'll also be shifted, not as much. And then the higher level ones, will not be shifted as much, but they will get some shift. So with that, let's jump right into it. Let's set intention to come to this practice and benefit from a slow moving practice, enabling us to learn our breath and how to integrate breath work into all the asanas, getting the full benefit of a yoga practice. So with that, I'll encourage everyone to come into easy pose. And with that, we'll just raise our hands over our head. Take a deep breath in as you're doing so. And bring our hands to the heart. I encourage you to close your eyes. I'm taking the assumption that you're in a safe, comfortable place. And you can be in this practice for yourself without having to worry about anything. So close your eyes and engage your inner sight to your third eye, which is your Anjana chakra. And as we do so, let's breathe in and breathe out. And here we will repeat this cycle for 4 times, just easing into the practice. Breathe in slowly. Breathe in fully and hold at the top. Exhale slowly and empty out completely at the bottom and hold. Breathe in again. Breathe in fully and hold. Exhale slowly. Exhale completely and hold. 2 other cycles. I will let you do them on their own without any disturbance from me. Bring our hands on the exhale, bring our hands to the knees, and continue just a regular breathing. We'll start with a warm-up practice. We'll start with our shoulder shrugs. Remember, this is your practice. You've set an intention to come to the mat, and you are your inner guru. You're following your inner senses. I am merely here to show you, lead you through a practice, but listen to your body. We always want to do a practice that is safe for one, and we also want to listen to our body. So right now my body is saying, just need to do a quick neck roll here. So I'm going to do a quick neck roll here and release some tension pockets around the base of my neck. All right. We'll begin with shoulder rolls. In shoulder rolls, we have our hands on our knees and we're taking our shoulders up, rotating them to the front and to the back. And as we're doing so, we're incorporating breathing. So we'll breathe in, raise up, roll, exhale, lower down, and roll. Two sets. And then we reverse. So breathe in, up, and exhale on the down. come centered. The third asana will be our a seated twisting asana. Breathe in. As we breathe in, we move forward, and as we exhale, we move backward. Breathe in, move forward. Exhale, move backwards. And as we continue to move in this fashion, taking deep breaths in, then we'll start to lower reduce the size of the circles and come slowly to a stationary point, seated upright. And then we'll rotate it the other way. Remember, breathe in, move forward. Exhale, move backward. So reduce the size of the circles slowly. What we're doing here is massaging our internals. The stomach, the liver, the spleen, all those areas get massaged and get moved as we go through this movement direction. From here, we'll move into our side stretches. So bring a right hand to the mat, take a left hand over, and bring a stretch out, breathing into the sides. So we're breathing into our left side now as we're stretched out of this position. And then go to the other side, bring our left hand down, right hand over, and we'll stretch. And we'll come back centered. Remember, these are just warm-ups that we're doing. And I'm going to ask Miss Raji to move a little bit. Thank you, Babu. Coming to our all fours, we'll start into cat-cows. Breathing in. Dropping our belly. Exhaling, curving our spine up. So, cat-cows. Tops of our leg planted on the ground. Hands, all 5 fingers on the mat. One thing we want to be most careful about is as we are putting pressure on the ground, on our hands, we want to make sure that we are spreading that pressure through all 5 fingers, otherwise we could end up damaging our wrist. There are a lot of small bones here in the wrist, as you may be aware, and we don't want to damage them. So remember, this is your foundation. These are the foundational basics. You're placing your hands on the mat, and pressure is on all 5 fingers, so that there is not pressure on the wrist here. So as we are planted in cat-cows, with our hands on the mat, breathe in, drop the belly, breathe out, curve the spine. From here, we'll steady, bring our spine to a neutral position, bring our left hand more towards the center of the mat, or keep our left hand where it's at actually, plant it up, raise our right hand up, and look up, and breathe in when you're looking up. On the exhale, take your hand and needle it right through your left hand and bring your head to the mat and breathe in. twisting the spine and touching the shoulders, releasing tension pockets. Come back up. Plant the right hand down. Remember, pressure on all the fingers. We'll take our left hand up. Breathe in. Either look up. Your gaze may be looking straight at parallel to the ground, or maybe down, or maybe up, wherever you're comfortable with. Needle it through on the exhale. Bring your head to the mat and breathe. From here, come back to neutral spine, to our tabletop position. We'll take our right foot out, stretch it out. From there, we'll take our left hand up, parallel to the ground, and we'll bring both in on the exhale. Breathe in, stretch out. Exhale, bring it in. Now, I'll show a variation. If you're not comfortable with that, be sure to grab a blanket. Your knees may be talking to you. Listen to your knees. Bring a blanket. Give yourself that comfort. Okay? If your wrists are talking to you, okay, you can certainly take a blanket there too and soften it. Or you can come up to your shoulder, put your elbow down on the ground and just move your leg coming in. You are working your abs, so that will give you benefit as well. And we'll bring it back to tabletop position, and we'll switch, moving our left foot out. Make sure that we are putting equal pressure on all the fingers on our left hand. Bring our right hand up. Look up, breathe. Breathe in. Exhale. As you crunch. A few crunches of those, come back to tabletop position. Let's come into a tiger pose. So we'll take our right foot up. Take our left hand. Steady yourself first as you take your right hand on the ground and your left knee on the ground. Hold it there. Take your left hand and catch your feet if you're able to. And as you do so, look up and kick away. Kick your foot away from you, and your hand will counterbalance it and give you the balance as you breathe in. Few deep breathing cycles here. Now I can already see my advanced practitioners trying to pull all their way up. This is a slow practice. Please just go simple on yourself. You're trying to understand how your body works here. And let's release everything and come back to tabletop position. And we'll take it to the other side of the tiger pose. Again, always remember to flex your wrists out in case you put too much pressure on them. But let's bring that left hand down on the ground now. Take our right foot up. Take a right foot up, bring our left hand, and we'll kick the right foot out. And breathe in and out. Remember to kick your foot out so that you create that balance, that stability that you need as you pull up on your muscles, on your thigh muscles, your psoas. Your abdomen is getting stretched at this point too, and so is your throat chakra. Tabletop position. We've worked the spine, giving it a curve, and now we will come back. We'll come to the mat and go into an upward facing dog position. So as we lay down, bring our elbows to the mat, to the ground, and give yourself a gentle raise. We're just asking for a gentle raise as far as you can go. And this is your upward facing dog pose. Bring our hands. Okay, we'll bring our hands to the mat. So you may be here at Cobra. If you're able to, bring your hands to the mat and stretch yourself out. Otherwise, you're fine being at Cobra. You'll get the same benefit by stretching it out. Or if you are able to, you can also go to your upward facing dog pose. Integrate your breathing. Breathing is most important. Breathe in and out. Come back to tabletop, and we'll go into our first downward facing dog. So to go into a downward facing dog, we're in tabletop position. We'll bring our toes to the mat. So bring our toes to the mat, lift the knees off, and come into our first downward dog. Now your heels may touch the mat, or they may not. You may be just here, and that's okay too. Be kind to yourself and allow your knees to bend a little. You know, you can be down here, you can be straight, and that's okay too. But I'd encourage yourself to be kind to your knees and your body and listen to what your body is saying. So again, you might have a micro bend. It's completely normal, completely okay. And here I'd encourage you to just walk your dog out. You'll find the left side and the right side feel differently. Again, when you're doing so, make sure pressure on all your fingertips, not just your wrist. Most important. Walk yourself out. Go steady. And we'll come into a standing forward fold from here. So for that, we'll walk our feet to our hands. Now you may be here with a micro bend and your palms to the ground. You may not be. You may have your fingers touching, or you may be here, and that's okay. Remember to be kind to your body. So we're in a standing forward fold. From here, we'll raise up. We'll raise up to an upward facing fold. Breathing in. From here, we'll come into Tadasana, standing mountain pose. Having warmed up our body, we'll now move into sun salutations. And as we get into our sun salutations, I'll demonstrate it with one sequence, and we'll do one together after that. So with sun salutations, we start off with just stabilizing ourselves on the mat. Take a deep breath in and exhale. At the next breath, let's take our hands over our head. Take a deep breath in, or you've taken a deep breath as you're holding here. And we're coming down into our forward fold. On the exhale, you've exhaled here. Take an inhale, take your right leg to the back. followed by your left leg. Fully breathing in. Lower your knees to the ground and your shoulders to the ground on the exhale. Take a deep breath in and curve, breathing in. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg forward and hold. Exhale, bring your left foot forward, and we're in folding position. Inhale, rise up, standing. Backward bend. Exhale, hands to your heart. So let's go with this, with the flow again. We'll do it together with me. So breathe in, hands over the head, arching back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back, left leg back. Exhale, bend, knees to the ground. Inhale, forward bend. Exhale, toes to the ground, down dog. Inhale, right leg forward and hold. Exhale, left leg forward, forward folding. Inhale, rise up, hands to the back. Exhale, hands to the heart. I encourage you to go through 2 sets of the sun salutations. Move along at your own pace. I will do so without instructing you this time. Breathe in. Forward fold. Breathe in. Right leg back, followed by left leg. Exhale. Knees to the ground, shoulder to the ground. Inhale. Breathe in. Back curved. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg forward. Forward fold on the exhale. Standing. Back bend. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe out. One more. I lied when I said I won't carry you through. It's a long sequence, so I continued with instruction. Breathe in. Exhale. Forward fold. Breathe in. Right leg forward by left leg. I generally alternate on every cycle. Exhale, knees ground, shoulder ground. Inhale, back curve. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, curve to the back, hands to the heart. I recommend going through this sequence 5 or 6 times in your practice. From here, we'll move into warrior positions. Balance ourselves. Stick our right leg as we breathe in, lift it up, and take it to the back. Always be thinking about balancing yourself and being kind to yourself. If that movement is not available to you, it's also okay to gently move yourself back so that as you're bending, you're comfortable with your strain. It doesn't have to be a swing back straight. Advanced practitioners will feel comfortable with their swing, but for those that are beginning, it's okay to go slowly to the step, or to also move back and just step forward. Take a step forward as you're bending. So let's go into our warrior one position, where we're holding our hands above our head. And again, feel free to catch yourself. This is your practice, not anyone else's practice. So if we fall, catch ourselves, come back right up. So I encourage you to find a spot where you're looking at in the front, focus your eyes, and this practice will be much more steady for you. My advanced practitioners, intermediate advanced practitioners, you may be getting there, or you may be able to close your eyes and do it. That's the tough part. I, for one, am going to keep my eyes open and see where I'm going. So here in Warrior 1, lower yourself down. Warrior 2, steady your right heel on the mat. Bring your arms parallel to the ground. And we're looking forward. Warrior 2, Warrior 3, or Peaceful Warrior. We'll take our hands forward, take a deep breath in. Move, bring our right hand to our right back of our right leg and arch over. And breathe. We'll breathe a couple of cycles here. Peaceful Warrior. And then we'll come resting, bringing our right hand over, resting our left elbow on the left knee, and breathing. Couple cycles here. On the exhale, let's start to lift our torso, lift our body, straighten out that front left leg, and come into a triangle pose. You may be here, you may be here. Do what's safe for you, what's comfortable for you. You may be looking down, you may be looking straight up, straight parallel to the ground, or you may be looking up to the sky. Wherever you are, breathe. From triangle pose, we'll bring both our hands back down to the mat. As we've got both our hands down, as if we're doing a push-up, bring ourselves down on the exhale. Inhale, curve our back up. Exhale, downward facing dog. As I said, this practice is going to be slow. Bring our knees to the ground, we're mat width apart, and we'll come into a child's pose for a quick rest. Now for a child's pose, some may feel comfortable to bring our knees together. But for this one, I'll ask you to move our knees to mat width, or what's comfortable to you. And bring your forehead to the ground with arms stretched out. Take a few breath cycles here to catch your breath. And the next exhale, we'll come back into tabletop. So to bring ourselves out of the child's pose, we'll simply move our body to the front, just as if we're gliding. Bring one knee in, followed by the other. Lift one arm, put one hand to the mat. Lift ourselves up, bring the other hand to the mat, and we're in tabletop. From here, we'll kick back up into down dog, come to forward fold, and we'll take it to the other side. So, come back standing. Previously we had our right leg forward. This time we will take our we'll keep our left leg forward and take our right leg to the, the other way around. We had our right leg forward, so we'll take our left leg to the back now. Swing it or take it slowly to what feels comfortable for you, or move back and just walk our right foot forward as we keep our left foot in the back. Again, we get into warrior one. Take a deep breath in. Hands up. Crunch down a bit, as comfortable as you can. You may be here, you may be here. Whatever you do, let's go slow and breathe in slowly. If you fall, catch yourself. Gaze forward will help you find a point to focus on. Move into warrior two. Bring our left heel to the ground and our arms parallel to the ground. Go into peaceful warrior. Take a deep breath in. We'll flip our palm. Take a deep breath in. Bring our left hand to the left back of the leg. And breathe. A couple cycles. On the exhale, let's take our left hand, bring it over our body. Right elbow goes over the right knee. Gaze parallel to the ground, out in the distance. Our eyes can be closed and we're breathing in. Slowly, we'll come into an extended side angle. So let's lift our torso up slightly, straighten that leg if we can. You may be here and that's okay too. Bring our right hand either to the ground or to the ankle of the right knee, and our left hand up. And you could be either looking to the ground, parallel to the ground, or up, whatever is comfortable for you. And we're breathing in. You notice as you're doing these poses, you're twisting your spine, you're extending the backs of you're extending your hamstrings, and you're feeling quite a bit of movement happening internally. Some you may not have known that you were able to move. Your spine may be cranking. From here, we'll bring our hands to the mat and go into our second chaturanga. Let's bring our right leg to the mat. You may be shaking. Those are good signs. That means your body is doing something. So make sure you're putting pressure on all your fingers as we come down. Now, for some that may not be available, it's okay to bring your knees to the ground and then coming to the mat. Coming to the ground. There are variations. We want to be careful. We are supportive of our body. For the variation, you can be, again, on your knees, or as you've come to the ground, bring the tops of your feet to the mat. Either come into a cobra or a backward extend.
and into downward dog by curling your toes on the mat and lifting yourself up. From here, we'll go into another child's pose. So let's bring your toes together, bring our knees to the ground, go mat width apart, let the tops of the feet come to touch the mat, recline, bring our forehead to the ground. And just breathe and relax, let everything go. We've done quite a bit of work today. This is tiring. It's okay to let everything go. Let's come up slowly onto all fours. So to come up onto all fours, we're just going to push ourselves, bring our elbows to the mat, glide forward, bring our knees together, sit on our tops, sit on the back of our legs, and from here we'll come into our Dandasana or staff pose, and for that we'll bring our glutes to the ground, move our feet forward, adjust our clothes, take a sip of water if you have to. But we're seated in a nice L position now. If this is not available to you, feel free to have a little bit of cushioning, a mat or a blanket or a block under here as you're sitting. Your backs of your leg may touch the mat, may not touch the mat. It's okay. Do whatever is available to you. Because you want to try and keep your spine straight here. So picture an L position. This is the danda, this is the spine. And we are striving to arrive at a vertical spine as we sit in Dandasana. From here we'll come into seated stretch poses. So for that we'll swing our right leg out. Have a nice V there. Okay, a nice V. And as we have a nice V, we'll bring our hands up as we breathe in. And we'll fold over to the right side first. We'll strive to get our fingers to the right toes. You may be at your thighs, you may be at your legs, you may be holding the sides of your legs, or you might be at your knees, which is all okay. Again, everyone, this is your practice. Everyone has their own journey. Again, I encourage you to move back up forward. Breathe in and go back to your right knee. As we stretch forward, you'll notice your left leg may come up. That's okay. The focus is on the right side. Come back up. And we'll go to the left fold. To the left leg. You'll notice the stretch in your right side will be different, may be different from your left side, and that's okay. I'm going to come back up forward and encourage you to go left again. Come back forward and we'll switch on each breath from the right to the left. So we come to the right. On the exhale, inhale, exhale to the left. Inhale, exhale to the right. Inhale, exhale to the left. With each inhale and exhale, you will notice that your body is reacting differently to each side. You may be going in multiple, you may be going in deeper on your subsequent moves. Next inhale, let's come to center. Coming to center, let's take our right leg in this time and begin the stretch just on the left side. And we'll hold. Exhale and hold. Inhale. Take our right leg out, left leg in, left foot to the left thigh. Inhale and exhale on the right. Inhale, center. And let's bring ourselves to the mat, laying down. Almost there. Almost there. We've curled our spine quite a bit.
Here's what I found.
In the forward position. And now we're going to stretch it up the other side. So we'll come into bridge pose. For bridge pose, again, every movement we do, we want to try and balance it with a counterbalance. And so coming into bridge pose, we'll bring our right leg towards our right glutes, our right glute, and left leg towards our left glute. Raise the shins forward, the thighs moving up, raising the back, coming up to the shoulder, bringing our hands underneath our body, interlocking them, resting on our shoulders and giving it a slight push. So shins forward, thighs up, sight up, forward up. You're not crunching your neck. And breathe in. Continue the breathing cycle. Plant your feet firmly on the mat. If this is not available to you, you may have your torso slightly lifted, or it may be on the mat. That's okay. But just breathe in at this point, whatever you do. Breathe in and breathe out. Breath cycles, slow breath cycles are very important. On the next exhale, let's bring her back to the mat and we will go into the hardest position of all, which is Shavasana. So we've gone through a routine, we've gone through quite an extensive routine practice. And as we've gone through this extensive routine, we have shifted quite a bit in our bodies. We have shifted tension packets, we've shifted emotions, we've shifted the balance in our bodies. As we've shifted this, it's time to rest and get fed with the nutrition of the movements that we've done. So we've done a lot of work. Time to soak in the nutrition, the nutritional aspects of the practice. So I always encourage people to, or my students to, take at least, up to 5 minutes, if not more, and soak in the practice. Shavasana is the most difficult practice because you're allowing your mind to try and steady. And that's a challenging practice. Lots of thoughts come through our mind, our to-do list, errands we have to run, meals that we have to prepare. But for now, this is our time. This is your time. You've come to the mat with an intention to benefit from the yoga practice. Increase suppleness in the spine, increase movement in the hips, shift your shoulder blades, shift your tension in your shoulder blades. So let's just all lay down. Your hands can be facing downwards or upwards as you're comfortable. Your backs of your legs touching the mat. Let every part of your muscle sink to the mat. Every part of your body. Let it sink to the mat. And breathe in and out. Let's breathe in. And breathe out. If a thought comes into your mind, take that thought, note it, and move it to the side. Saying, I'll get back to you later. And let's calm the mind down. Because this is a timed practice, I will need to close the practice, but I encourage you to stay where you're at and soak in the benefits of Shavasana, of the practice more in this last final Shavasana practice. When you're done, move your toes, move your fingers, bring your hands together, rub them so you warm them up. Bring the palms to your eyes so that you provide some warmth to your eyes. Cup them, gently open your eyes so the harsh light doesn't jump at you. Look up and come into seated. Help yourself up with your hands. Come into seated. And as you come into seated, let's fold our hands together. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Take another deep breath in. And thank ourselves for coming to the practice, coming to the mat and setting an intention for our practice. Namaste.